So speak to us about the importance of communication.
Look, I learned very early on when I got to Spain that communication was important. So yes, I got my buenas all wrong sometimes. Buenos dias for buenas tardes. So at the beginning, I made those mistakes, but I carried on. You've got to say, it's like everywhere else in the world. When you try and speak people's language, and it may come across as funny and even daft at times, people are quite keen to help. And some of the physios helped me along. But I've got to say, in my first season, the one goalkeeper, I had three goalkeepers. One was Spanish, didn't speak a word of English. The other one was French, came from PSG, and the other one was Indian, who obviously spoke some English. Well, spoke English quite nicely. Um, and I used to start working with a Spanish goalkeeper. And so I needed to learn to speak Spanish. He was the most experienced goalkeeper there, or currently the most experienced. And then obviously the French guy, the Frenchman, um, had been a top class goalkeeper. But it was quite funny getting the languages right. I'd be speaking Spanish to the Indian goalkeeper or to the French goalkeeper, and sometimes I got it hopelessly wrong. Incidentally, I always got it hopelessly wrong. But no, I learned quite a lot. And in fact, telling the story of the goalkeeper, I'm now not going to tell you who the goalkeeper is, but when the goalkeeper arrived, we were sitting down to lunch, and he walked across the dining hall to where the coach's table was to introduce himself and all of that. And as he turned around to walk away, the head coach was not happy. He was not happy with the weight he was carrying. So he had a word with me, and the next morning, I went down and weighed him, and he weighed 101.3, and which really wasn't acceptable to the to the head coach. And so I wrote out a diet, just a very basic diet. And I got to tell you, eventually he won that tournament for us. He made a save in the top corner in the last second of the game, which we were leading 1-0. So basically, he won it for us. But I've also got to tell you, because he was so heavy, he struggled at training to get up and down and up and down and up and down. So the head assistant and I sat down and we worked out a program where we would keep him on the floor, keep him working on the floor, and get him up from there without him realizing. And that's what we did. So all our sessions with him were 10, 12 minutes, not longer than that. But it was based on getting him up and down. And I got to say, it worked. And just incidentally, he stayed in touch with me throughout, even when he moved to play for, I think he went to Maccabi Haifa for 6 months or something. He would phone me from Israel. So obviously, we worked nicely together.
Is there an instance where miscommunication led to the point that you were trying to make?
Yes, too often, particularly with the Spanish goalkeeper. So, what had happened was the Spanish goalkeeper, Basilio, um, he wanted to learn English. And obviously, I wanted to improve my Spanish. So, him and I, during our siesta time, which was from 2 to 4, I think it was, 4:30, we'd take an hour every day from 2 to 3. Basilio and I would sit down and I would teach him English and he would teach me some Spanish. So I always got it wrong. I was very slow on the uptake, and needless to say, that's always been the case with me. But I did get it wrong, and there was often times where I shouted things on the training ground, got it hopelessly wrong, and the physios would point it out to me. The physios were younger, and they could speak English, and that helped me as well. But in my second season, the goalkeeper I worked with, Kala Tayud, at one time was one of the top goalkeepers in Europe. He received a certificate and all of that. But I'll tell you, Kala's wife was born in Belfast. She lived in Belfast in South Africa with her mum on a small island, and she spoke English, and which helped me with Kala Tayud. And as we spoke more and more, his English got better as well. And he spent time, he worked with Douglas, the Real goalkeeping coach, and went to visit them and sent me pictures of all of them. So yeah, but it was very helpful that his wife could speak English.